I spoke with my principal about the KESA rubrics and just kind of the whole process as a whole, and he was very familiar with it. He said that typically the district, as well as the principals, they all get together a couple of times throughout the school year just to kind of go over it and make sure that everybody's kind of knowing where they're at, knowing what they're implementing, incorporating it into their school improvement plans, and just following the process that the state's kind of started to push out, or has started to push out. After we got done talking about it, we decided that our school, as well as our district, would be high transitioning, kind of somewhere in that neighborhood. We kind of just because we had disagreed on some parts of it versus others, where he said we were high or beginning, or kind of wherever we were at. That's where we kind of compromised at. We said that overall, if we had to give it a grade, we would say we'd be kind of high transitioning if we compiled that and kind of averaged it all out. Our strong point is that we do collect data. We do hit those check boxes. And the part that I kind of pushed back on was that, yeah, we might be hitting those check boxes, but we're not necessarily using that data or really effectively using that data to create any real change. And I realize that some of that is that data is very new. It is very new. Within 2 or 3 years, you got to give a program time to work. You have to. It's not Rome wasn't built in a day. Is kind of what we ended up kind of saying as we ended. In terms of my principal's approach, it is a mix between democratic and authentic leadership style. Excuse me. I love it as a teacher working for him. I really enjoy my principal. I have a very great relationship with him. And I think that fits his personality very well. But also me as a teacher being hired under him or by him, it fits me very well, and a very large percentage of our staff also. I said that because he's constantly reaching out for staff, talking to staff in the hallways. Hey, how was your weekend? How's this going? Blah 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 blah. Just kind of building those relationships and being authentic, being a real person. Saying, oh well, my daughter had a softball tournament here. Or my son was playing basketball here. And he is extremely authentic. Democratic because he's bringing teachers in to make changes. Hey, what do we need to do? What do we need to change? What's working? What's not? He brings people in to help to make those decisions. I myself was on the committee to hire a new dean of students for next year. And so being part of that process was really impactful for me because I really got to see kind of the behind the scenes, if you will. However, at the end of it, because it's that democratic leadership style, he did say, yes, I'm going to take your input under advisement. However, the end decision will be mine, which I think very much speaks to a democratic process there. In terms of what I would address personally, I believe that we struggle the most as a school, if we're talking just specifically in the school building. I believe that we struggle most with the rigor rubric under the CTE professional development, and we have no evidence of that. In order to kind of address those things, there would be several of those standards that I would hit would be of the PESL. The standards would be standard 4, D, ensure practice as intellectually challenging, authentic student experiences, recognizing student strengths, and is differentiated and personalized. 6G, develop capacity opportunities for for teacher leadership, and 7C, professional community for teachers and staff, specifically to the points of establishing the communication, the collaborative atmosphere, and just kind of that idea of collectively working towards a goal. What I would do is that I would reach out to businesses, see what they were needed, what skills they were needing, put out a questionnaire to our teachers. Here's kind of after I compiled that list of needs from the community, put it out to our teachers. of these, 10, 15, 20 things, which ones do you believe you effectively teach and teach well within your classroom? And would you be willing to do a short PD session on it? And then after I got, 5 to 10 teachers who would be willing to put on those in-services, those workshops, that would be something that we do during one of our building PD days, that the teachers would go in and create a lesson, nothing big, just 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the absolute most, that here's kind of how I do things, kind of take it, teachers can learn from it, how to incorporate those ideas from the community into their classroom, and it hits on just kind of that idea of empowering teachers, bringing in those ideas from the community, and most importantly, that it's doing what's good for our kids. It's helping them to develop those skills that they're going to need once they get outside of our building and out into the workforce.